Our house is supposed to be our safe space. Well, most of the time it is, but sometimes it becomes the site of horrible and strange discoveries. From terrifying finds to heartwarming and historic letters, we'll now show you the strange things discovered behind the owner's walls. Number 1. In 2016, a maintenance team from the University of Cambridge discovered a 300-year-old shoe at St. John's College. This historical artifact, dating from approximately the late 17th or early 18th century, was found hidden inside a wall. It is believed to be an example of apotropaic magic, a practice designed to attract good luck and ward off evil. Despite its age, the shoe was surprisingly well preserved and was sized equivalent to a modern men's size 6 shoe. The specific location where the shoe was found had particular significance. It was located between the fireplace and the window, a site traditionally considered to protect residents and keep evil spirits away. Although not widely documented, these beliefs in ritual magic were common in Europe between the 16th and 19th centuries. In addition to shoes, other objects, such as dead cats, horse skulls, and witch bottles filled with hair and urine, were used for similar protective purposes. Number 2. A homeowner named Jonathan Lewis made a disturbing discovery in his new house while he was renovating it. He found a creepy doll hidden inside a wall. The doll, named Emily, had a note claiming that she had stabbed the previous owners in 1961. The discovery, which could easily be the plot of a ghost story, has attracted significant attention. The letter simply said, "My name is Emily. My original owners lived in this house in 1961. I didn't like them, so they had to leave. All they did was sing and be happy. It was disgusting. I chose to stab them. I hope you have knives." The doll was hidden behind a boarded-up wall, and its presence was completely unexpected. Despite the grisly nature of this find, Lewis seemed to take it in stride. It appears that the doll is not genuine from the 1960s and was simply placed as a joke. However, his friends were alarmed and urged him to sell the house and move. Number 3. In another discovery straight out of a horror movie, a construction worker found a centuries-old Ouija board hidden inside a heating duct. This unexpected discovery occurred during renovation work in an old house where the Ouija board, which was upside down, was used to block airflow in the duct. The discovery of this board, associated with contacting the dead, was enough to scare the workers. They wondered if it was deliberately placed by a previous occupant to conceal it. The story captured the imagination of many, speculating about the origin of the board and the reason for its secret hiding. Ouija boards, often linked to the supernatural, have a history of being used to communicate with spirits. Finding one hidden in a structure can provoke a variety of emotions, from curiosity to discomfort. This particular board, which spent decades hidden behind the wall, serves as a reminder of the mysterious and disturbing stories that ancient buildings can hold without their current occupants knowing. Number 4. When renovating an old structure, such as an old coffee shop, one would expect to find old wallpaper, debris, or trash when tearing down the walls. However, workers renovating the Clifton cafeteria in Los Angeles discovered something different. It wasn't something sinister or terrifying, but it still surprised the owners. It turned out that behind one of the walls of the cafeteria was a neon light that had been on for an astonishing 70 years. Yes, you heard right, 70 years. Clifton's is a piece of Los Angeles history, founded by Clifford Clinton. Its only remaining branch, Clifton's Brookdale, is known for its unique interior, complete with fake trees and neon parrots. Perhaps it was appropriate that there was a neon light hidden behind its walls. It was originally installed around 1935, and after 10 years it was hidden during a renovation. Perhaps the responsibility for this undetected light lies with those who were in charge of the constructions. It was impossible to detect the light until 2010 when the cafeteria was renovated again. Surprisingly, this decades-old neon light probably contributed a staggering $117,000 to the electric bill. Interestingly, experts consider this neon light to be the oldest and continuously lit neon light in the world. Although LED lights are more common and efficient today, it is interesting to discover these ancient lightings. However, let's remember that neon lights became obsolete for reasons. They can be harmful to the environment and humans. LED lights, on the other hand, have greater durability and are a more efficient investment. Before continuing, like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications right now. Number 5. During a renovation at his home in Newcastle, on the New South Wales north coast, Matt Streetfield made a nostalgic discovery. He found a message from the past hidden within the walls of his house. A glass milk bottle almost half a century old that contained a letter dated April 5, 1974. The letter, written by the plasterers who originally built the walls, offered an insight into life in Australia during that period. Streetfield, intrigued by this unexpected find, managed to track down one of the note's original authors, a 66-year-old man named Ron Midry. The letter detailed the everyday realities of the time, including the plasterers' wait for their weekly salary of $106 from Newcastle Interior Linings, a company that is still in operation today. Number 6. The Bretsius family was hoping for a smooth home renovation in Cook County, Auburn, Pennsylvania, but the simple construction took an unexpected turn when they discovered their home was insulated with dozens of dead animal carrion. These remains were ominously wrapped in old newspapers and accompanied by half-used spices. The strange thing is that they were hidden inside the walls. This peculiar discovery in their seemingly normal home raised many questions. Uniquely preserved animal carrion suggested forgotten practices or hidden histories deeply embedded in the structure of the house. The inclusion of spices, often used for preservation or in rituals, makes the discovery more chilling. The presence of spices generally associated with conservation practices or rituals fueled theories that the house could have been inhabited by someone who practiced rituals in the past. This revelation, intertwined with the history and folklore of Cook County, invites speculation and wonder about the past lives and stories that have unfolded within these walls. Number 7. If you like horror stories and literary classics, you probably know Dracula by Bram Stoker, the novel that popularized the figure of the vampire. In 2020, a discovery related to that famous story captured the international attention of mystery lovers. A mummified cat was discovered behind the walls of a house in Bystryca, a Transylvanian town mentioned in Stoker's novel. This house, built in 1921, housed the mummified cat that was found by brothers Valentine and Adrian, Berlin-based artists. Initially, they thought it was a miniature sculpture of a tiger, but later realized it was the mummified remains of a cat. Although for many it may seem creepy, for fans of the macabre and Dracula, this discovery was fascinating. The mummified cat was expected to fetch up to $1,500. Interestingly, this was not the first discovery of a mummified cat in a wall. In 2009, another was found in a house in Devon. In some European cultures, it was traditional to place the desiccated body of a cat within the walls of a new building as protection against evil spirits, or as a good luck talisman. Although this tradition might not appeal to cat lovers like me, it is an interesting testament to ancient customs and beliefs that have been recorded in history. Number 8. An extraordinary discovery was made by a local man who simply wanted to renovate his basement. What he found behind him was nothing short of astonishing: an entrance to a vast underground city stretching up to 18 stories deep and capable of housing up to 20,000 people. This underground complex is now known as the Derinkuyu Underground City and, since its discovery, has been hailed as the largest community underground. Derinkuyu is situated in the historic region of Cappadocia in central Turkey, known for its unique geological formations such as fairy chimneys and soft rock called tuff. Thanks to this rock, local inhabitants have created underground homes, warehouses and temples for millennia. Derinkuyu is the largest underground complex, with approximately 40 structures of at least 2 levels. Its exact origin remains a mystery, but it is believed to have been excavated by the Hittites around 2000 BC, or by the Phrygians in 700 BC. Additionally, it is thought that local Christians expanded the city in later centuries. Designed for defense, it features massive stone gates and defensive features. Between the 6th and 10th centuries AD, elements with Christian influence were added, indicating its use as a safe haven for Christians. The city had residential areas, storage, a dungeon and spaces such as wine presses and small churches, including a cruciform one. Ventilated by more than 15,000 wells, it offered stable and moderate conditions, being a refuge from extreme weather and ideal for storing food. Number 9. The discovery of a 6-year-old boy perplexed many in the United States. That's right, authorities found a boy hiding behind a false wall in his own maternal grandmother's house. Since 2007, this child was hidden by his grandmother and mother to prevent his father from seeing him. The boy and his mother disappeared in November 2007 after an intense custody battle between the parents. Since then, the father had not seen his son again. An extensive search led authorities to the home of the boy's grandmother. Upon entering, they discovered a false wall where, surprisingly, they found the little boy. If it were not for police intervention, the boy and his father would not have had the opportunity to reunite. Despite the strange circumstances, the boy was found with no apparent harm, at least physically. It is difficult to imagine what this little boy thought after living for 2 years in such a peculiar and atypical environment. Ultimately, the boy's mother faced charges of felony child abduction, while the grandmother was considered an accessory and charged with aiding and abetting. Fortunately, police reported that, despite having spent most of the last 2 years in hiding, the boy was cheerful, friendly and polite. Number 10. In 2015, a couple from Jasper, Indiana, made an unexpected discovery. While planning renovations for a new bathroom and hiring a contractor to fix the wiring, Phil Matthew stumbled upon a hidden treasure in his attic. Love letters from World War I. These letters, dated July 1918, were written by a World War I soldier named Clemens Berger to his beloved, Mary Burrow. Clemens, who was in service and training at West Point, Kentucky, expressed in his letters his fears about being sent to the front and the possibility of never seeing his or Mary's home again. Upon reading the letters, Phil and his wife felt the desire to return them to their rightful owners and discover what had happened to the lovers. With the help of the internet and others, they managed to contact Mary Munn and Nancy Tidar, nieces of Clemens and Mary. These nieces were excited and grateful for the discovery and preservation of this emotional family memory. They revealed that, indeed, Clemens and Mary had a happy ending. They married a year after the end of the First World War, in June 1919. Without a doubt, a strange but moving discovery. Number 11. Frank the Breeze Calabrese Jr. is a well-known figure in the Chicago Mafia, as is his father, Frank Cali Sr., known as Frankie Breeze. Both were famous for their networks of high-interest loans and illegal gambling operations. Given the nature of their illegal activities, they accumulated a considerable fortune. As part of Operation Family Secrets, a major FBI investigation into mob-related crimes in Chicago, $750,000 in cash was discovered hidden in a basement wall of the family's former home in Oak Brook. Following Calabria's sentence to life in prison, this money, made up of rare $51,000 bills, was confiscated by federal authorities. The U.S. Marshals Service sold the bills above their face value, generating at least $84,000 and probably more than $100,000 from the sale. This money, along with other seized property, such as 3,000 pieces of diamond jewelry, will be used to cover fines and restitution imposed on Cali. Although the exact origin of how the money ended up behind the wall remains a mystery, it seems that when you have a lot of money, you can store it wherever you want and simply forget about it. Number 12. In Arizona, a family's new home became a horrible place. Annabelle Mickelson and her family, excited about her new house, stumbled upon something that would terrify even the bravest of people. A strangely placed mirror in her bathroom that, upon closer inspection, turned out to be a mirror. Bidirectional. Along with the two-way mirror, the family found cables to connect video equipment. Imagine her surprise when she discovered that there was a hidden surveillance system in her own bathroom. Annabelle mentioned that the house was known to have been connected to a cartel and had a reputation for being a party house. With that kind of track record, it's definitely enough to convince most people to sell the house and look for somewhere else to live. Number 13. Imagine savoring a glass of wine to relax after a tiring day. But what if I told you that, deep in the mountain caves of Armenia, a revelation emerged that would revolutionize our understanding of the history of wine? Archaeologists have unearthed a find that challenges ancient belief. This wine production facility, a time capsule dating back more than 6,000 years. This incredible discovery is older than the wine found in Egyptian tombs by almost 1,000 years. It changes history and shows us how red wine was made in the beginning. Within these caves, ancient objects were found, such as wood and leather, which were surprisingly well preserved due to the dry and isolated climate of the caves. This discovery makes us review what we thought we knew about wine production and history. It reminds us that the past can change, and we must now update our history books to recognize the importance of this ancient winery in our understanding of human creativity and love of wine. It's inspiring, but it also raises many questions for the future. Number 14. High above Edinburgh's historic Old Town sits a distinctive and charming landmark, Arthur's Seat, a picturesque volcanic hill. This extraordinary hill transcends mere geology as it is shrouded in an aura of history and mystery that has baffled generations. Some believe it could be King Arthur's Camelot, where legend and reality mix. But the strangest story occurred in June 1836. A group of boys hunting rabbits found something surprising on the northeast slope of Arthur's Seat. 17 small coffins hidden under thin slate plates. No one knows who was buried there or why. Each coffin was very small, with wooden figures inside that looked like mini dolls. Currently, 17 of these strange coffins are on display at the National Museum of Scotland. There were many theories about its meaning, but it remains a mystery. In 1906, a woman in Edinburgh mentioned that her father had met a deaf-mute man called Mr. B who had drawn something similar to coffins and marked them with years that coincided with people's deaths. Rumors arose as to whether they were related to seafaring superstitions or the murders of Burke and Hare in Edinburgh. Despite all the theories, the 17 small coffins of Arthur's Seat remain an enduring enigma. The hill, once associated with Camelot, is now a place full of mystery, where history, legend and the inexplicable mix to baffle all who explore its secrets. Number 15. Imagine traveling back in time, not to the era of ferocious mammoths and saber-toothed tigers, but to a South African cave where our ancient ancestors left a culinary secret. In Border Cave, scientists made a surprising discovery. They found charred root vegetables that are a staggering 17,000 years old. This challenges the idea that our prehistoric ancestors were just gross carnivores, as these vegetables were part of their diet. Archaeologists identified these plants as rhizomes of the genus Hypoxus after years of research. These Hypoxus rhizomes had a different flavor and were prized for their starchy qualities. This shows that our ancient ancestors valued a balance in their diet, just like we do. Not all Hypoxus rhizomes were the same, and it is likely that they enjoyed a different species, such as Hypoxus angustula, rather than Hypoxus hemorrhoida, which had a bitter taste and was used more for medicinal than culinary purposes. So the next time you eat roasted vegetables, remember that you are following a culinary tradition that has a history of 17,000 years. Number 16. While hiking the rugged trails of New York's Catskill Mountains, two adventurous hikers stumbled upon a disturbing discovery that would haunt their dreams for years. Going far off the beaten path into a secluded cave, their sense of curiosity led them to a chilling encounter. Hidden in a dark corner of the cave, they spotted an enigmatic figure. This was no ordinary statue. It was a wooden effigy with 6 rusty nails inserted into the eye sockets. To make matters worse, a tight gallows surrounded his neck, hinting at a sinister past. One of the friends, against all sound judgment, could not resist the lure of the voodoo doll and decided to take it home. Little did he know that this decision would soon turn his life into a living nightmare. The moment the figurine entered his home, it began to show a disturbing life of its own. Muddy footprints appeared mysteriously on their floors and a putrid stench permeated the air. The situation escalated to the point where loud, inexplicable knocks would wake him up in the middle of the night, and ghostly knocks would echo on his front door, even though no one was ever there. Terrified for his life, the hiker realized that he was dealing with an artifact that harbored malevolent forces beyond comprehension. Desperate to get rid of this cursed object, he entrusted it to a local museum in hopes of breaking the sinister connection that had been forged. This cautionary tale serves as a chilling reminder: you should never, under any circumstances, bring strange and disturbing objects found in caves into your home. You never know what malevolent entities they may harbor, especially if they carry symbols of torment like rusty nails and a tight gallows. Such objects are harbingers of nothing but darkness and despair. This is a pretty scary warning, and the next discovery could herald an even scarier story. Number 17. Earlier this year, from the hidden corners of Hollowell Cave in the heart of Germany, a wonderful artifact emerged from the sheltering earth. A small, exquisite sculpture of a bird carved from ancient mammoth tusks. What made this avian masterpiece truly extraordinary was its astonishing age, exceeding 30,000 years. This finely chiseled work of art served as a portal to the mysterious world of shamanism. Imagine an aquatic bird adorned with a horse's head and a magnificent lion's mane, a fantastic and inspiring creature in the realm of shamanic practice. Birds, especially waterfowl, held a revered place as symbols of great significance. This humble carving reinforces the belief that birds played a fundamental role in the spiritual life of early humans. The bird's head, eyes and graceful outstretched neck bring the ancient ivory to life, making it appear almost capable of taking flight. The artist behind this masterpiece, whose name has been lost to the sands of time, would surely swell with pride knowing that his creation now holds the title of the oldest known bird depiction in human history. However, this remarkable bird was not alone in its former artistic prowess. In a hidden cave in the heart of the French jungle, a figurine of an owl stood as his silent companion. Although reminiscent of the cave paintings attributed to our rugged Neanderthal cousins, research revealed that these treasures were the work of early modern humans. Carbon dating revealed their astonishing age, meticulously carved between 28,000 and 35,000 years ago. Number 18. In the mysterious depths of the Lucina Jama cave system in Croatia, a brave team of cavers and intrepid biologists stumbled upon a revelation like no other. As they ventured into the abyss of one of the world's deepest caves, ranked among the top 20 on Earth, their search was far from ordinary. These explorers set out on a journey that would reveal an astonishing secret hidden 3,200 feet below the surface. In their relentless search for the unknown, this daring team discovered an unprecedented species of snail. However, these were no simple garden snails. They were creatures of wonder and peculiarity, translucent beings belonging to the genus Siam. Throughout their dangerous odyssey, as they diligently collected biological specimens, their eyes met the tiny shape of a snail unlike any other documented in the annals of science. Nicknamed Xiamthosam, this amazing creature defied conventional snail norms. It carried a luminous dome-shaped shell that looked like a work of art created by nature itself. These extraordinary snails moved at an almost glacial pace, advancing just millimeters or centimeters each week, often stuck in circular paths. Their leisurely existence reflected their comfortable home in the cave, where they grazed peacefully. When these astonishing discoveries came to the keen eye of taxonomist Alexander Wiend in Germany, his verdict was unequivocal. A virgin species previously unknown to science had been revealed. As these intrepid explorers and biologists looked deeper into the heart of our planet, they discovered a world until then hidden from human understanding.